Hey, all right, so I'm back. This is the last part of the um, our live. Our What we're going to be talking about today is how to attract the woman. So if you're really having a hard time doing that, then I'm here to help you. This beginning parts, I'm going to just kind of let that ramble a little bit because a lot of times when I'm doing these lives, the beginning of the video, it ends up being kind of blurry and it doesn't get in until now. Okay, now good. Hey, Patrice Evans here. I'm back. So this is the third part of our series. Excuse all the stuff I said before. And I want to help you with this is what you'd have to do to attract a woman. So I'm sitting here and I'm like watching my son, my stepson, my all the young men in my life and how they're doing their relationships. And I'm just so proud that they're taking on all of the things that I'm telling them to do. And they have their own stuff that they're doing. And it's the years of growing up as a Christian young man. They already have those things in them. And I want to help you with this bridge between growing up in the Christian faith and deciding if you want to have it for yourself or not. But I want to encourage you, you got what you need to have a lasting relationship in that Christian upbringing. It's in there. It's God came was the one that made marriage and union and all of it. You should stick with it and use all the precepts that are in the Christian faith to continue on till you can get to that next step of marriage and then going on with your life. This is only if you are an empathic traditional man that wants marriage. If you're that guy that just wants to party and have fun and everything, then I'm definitely not the one for you. If you want the tricks and the tips so that you can get the girl, just so that you can get the girl, so you can compete with the cute guys and all that stuff, and you just want to party and all that stuff, statistics have shown that it's not working, that everyone's failing, that everyone's losing in that game. But if you want to keep playing it, it's just like, cigarette smoking. We can say it. Everyone knows cigarette smoking is bad for you and it causes cancer, but people are becoming they're smoking every day. So what are you going to do about that, right? So even though we know that you're failing in that, you might continue to want to do that. But if I could shift your mind over and have you see that if you grew up with a Christian background, you already have this foundation that is preparing you for a good, healthy marriage. You need to revisit your Christian background and you need to look and see what that structure is. And what we're doing is we're following Jesus, we're following his precepts. If you really want to be a true Christian, now being a cultural Christian where you've had that, that's wonderful. I say you should continue to go in that direction. If you want to be a real Christian, for real, that means that's eternal. That's your soul. That's your spirit. That means you said a prayer. You received Jesus as your Lord and Savior by repenting of anything you did that was like the world, wanting to be a part of the world. You turn from that and you don't want that. You want Jesus's way and you want to do things to please him. So if you want to do things to please him, you can't also try to please the groups you're in, the social media groups you're in, the people you're following. You got to choose today who you're going to serve. So we talked about that in the series. How do you attract a woman? The biggest thing that the Spirit leads me to share with you is listening to her. And when I look at my son and how he's courting and how my stepson, my son-in-law, and all of them, what I love about the men in my family that I feel like they did it, I supported them in doing it, is that they're listening to the women. And it's not just to listen for that moment that you're just listening. You're taking in information so that you can love on them later, like you would your mom, your friend, someone that you truly love. You need to get your mind wrapped around the fact that, first of all, if you are growing up Christian, you believe in what we believe, you love women. You know what? You love women because you love people, because that's the thing that God is charging us to do, to love God with all our mind, our soul, and our spirit, and love our neighbor as ourselves. So you love people, so that means you love women. You can't not love women. If you really receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and he's in your heart, and you're not just living a Christian life in the sense that you're just following his teachings, but you really didn't put him in your heart. Well, if you really live in your heart, now that's even better because you have God, the Holy Spirit living inside of you after saying that prayer, and he gives you the power to love others, even when you can't do it yourself. So that's the ideal thing, is if you did. And if you've ever want me to say that prayer with you, I can say that prayer with you at any time. I'll say that prayer. I'll do a separate video that's just saying that prayer for you, and you can go to that video, okay? But for now, because this is about my business, I don't want to worry you about what you need to do spiritually. I just want you to understand your cultural background as a Christian, that you already have all the makings of having an amazing marriage and an amazing life, because that's what God put marriage together for. That's how he put that structure together of the man and the woman, and the man leading the household and the woman following and being the helpmate, but also being important, and the man protecting her and loving her. And just like Jesus loved the church, he would never hurt the church because he loves the church, but he's stronger than the church, and he could hurt the church, but instead he uses his strength to protect the church and to purify and love her. And that's what you're supposed to be doing with the woman. She has the ability to do ministry, to do work, to whatever she's going to do. But in her home, she shares her feelings and her thoughts with the man, but he makes the ultimate decision, is what we believe in the Christian faith. How do you attract a woman to be able to have that kind of life, beautiful life that we're talking about? I have that. I know a lot of other people who do, because they've been living that life. They've detoxed themselves from the worry the world thinks of sleeping around and all stuff to having that. How do you build that? Starting off in a relationship, when you first meet somebody, you talk about things that you really believe in your heart, the good things that are in your heart, that are edifying, that can be built on, that are everlasting. She talks about that. You learn about the things she loves. If you are going to meet a really good friend, if you're capable of being a friend and you're going to hear a good friend's heart and what they love, you're going to be listening to their favorite color. You're going to be listening. When I say listening, these are the things I'm talking about: their favorite color, their favorite places to be. If you guys really are serious Christians, you want to know if they love worship music, what kind of music. I don't believe in legalism where you can't have a glass of wine, you can't dance. I believe that God is a fun God and that he turned the first miracle was wine. So when I talk about growing up Christian, I'm not talking about crazy Christian. I'm talking about normal people, cool Christians like I am. I belly dance to give ministry to women, but I'm so sound in my faith. And so I believe in women being beautiful and sensual and everything so that they can be a blessing to themselves and in their homes and in their marriage. I want you to have a woman that is very confident in her beauty and her sensuality, but she's only doing that with you. That's what I believe in. This is what I'm getting these women ready for. And so how are you going to get this woman? You're going to listen to all the things she loves. You're going to just really show her that in the conversation. And you're going to just ask more questions about it, but not in an interrogating way. Maybe you add to it by sharing some things about you. But when I talk, the part of this listening that I want to add to that I've spoken to my last series is that I want you to, in your mind, as the chivalrous guy, because in Christianity we like chivalry. We like you opening the doors. We like you giving flowers. We like you paying if you take the girl out. And if she chooses to do it another time, you both agree, fine. But you are ready, willing, and able to pay for her, because it shows her that you will be able to take care of her when she has children one day, because she might want to be home. So if she wants to work, fine, but what if she wants to stay home? So this gives her a good indication that she will be able to do that. And you would want that, because that you want her to be the caretaker to your children, right? So these are mature things to think about, not these crazy things going on online. There's so much proof that it's not working. Those mindsets that broke down all this, that's trying to tear it all down to prove that it's wrong, it's not working. But no one wants to say that on TikTok and everywhere else. They just want you to keep on doing it because it's demonic. But the real way is to take all the fun stuff that you both have and keep it in line with what pleases the Lord. Have fun within the confines of what pleases the Lord. Not legalistic, not crazy, but fun and beautiful, but not vulgar. That's all, right? So when she says she loves dancing, when she loves plays, take note. Take note of all these things, because these are dates. These are gifts. These are things you're going to give back. My son just did something very beautiful like that. I was so proud of him on his own. I didn't tell him that one, but I did raise him. So, and it's who he is. So I just supported this wonderful young man that I knew would be amazing. And just little times I'll give my little, things to guide him here and there. But I'm just so grateful that I have this wonderful young man that's doing the things already, and just like, yay girl, you did it, but when you hear her, the reason you're listening is so that you can plan these wonderful things to love on her. You want nothing in between. Being empathic means you don't want anything in return. In fact, this is something I want you to examine your heart with. If you do it where you want something in return, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do anything in a spirit. And this must be hard for you men. But if you really are trying to be empathic and Christ-like, He did not do stuff to get back. There's no way we can die for Christ. There's no way we can give him back what he did for us. So when you give her, okay, this is going to seem weird because I'm talking about Jesus and God and everything, but I'm going to give you all a little tip. It is the sexiest thing you could do. And I'm going to tell you something. It will open up her heart, her mind, and her sensuality. This is something you're going to have to do all throughout your marriage and your relationship, that patience and listening and giving. But you've got to do this with someone who also cares about you. Because if you do this and you're just doing it with the girl that's a party girl, it's not going to work. There's not tips and tricks to just get a date and to get sex. That's not what this channel is about. I'm teaching you how to be long-term, to be that man that she can't get enough of, and she wants to marry, and she wants to have your babies. And you're going to be with for a long time. But if you join my course, I have a course to help you from when you meet her to into marriage, to help you with all of that, so that you have support throughout that. Like I'm your mother or your auntie or your teacher or somebody to help you through these steps, because it's not easy. Not many people are out here to help you with the stage in between, like in your mid-20s to mid-30s. Hey, how are you? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Talking to young men right now. You can email me, okay? All right. Love you. So anyway, if you want to get her to love you so much that her mind's open, she's any kind of pain she might have had from the past, it's gone. She is so infatuated. She's so into you. Anytime if you've been searching to rest your heart with somebody, and you're like, I just want to rest myself, just rest and know that this person's truly on my side. I want that as a friend. Everyone wants that. When we have friends, especially after the pandemic, we want to trust somebody with our heart. We want to trust somebody with our minds. Let me tell you something. If you are somebody that she can trust with her mind and her heart, that's like foreplay, y'all. I'm just telling you right now that everything else just follows. No question. And that's how she's completely free when that time finally comes. Now, I'm for courtship. So this is a build up to when your wedding night or when you're together. But whenever that time comes between you and her, and I think you should wait, because statistics show that you last longer and the marriage will last longer if you wait. But this is how you get her to be attracted to you. But the kind of attraction I talk about on my channel is to lead to marriage, a lasting, healthy marriage. It's that real stuff, that meat, not candy that's going to rot your teeth, and stuff that's for the children, that's for the immature people and the people who never want to grow up. But if you're finally able to be mature and you want something solid and real that God is actually supporting, you don't even have to hide from God in this. Everything I'm telling you to do, you don't have to hide from him. It's fun. You get to have intercourse and all that stuff. You get to be sexy and everything. I know how to be all that and still please the Lord, and get a beautiful woman and still please the Lord. Your conscience will be safe. That's what I do. I know exactly how you can do that, how you can stay within the kingdom's way, still being sexy, having sex, attracting the woman, getting a beautiful woman, having a long-lasting relationship, having fun, doing everything that's just so fulfilled and fun that everyone's looking for, but they can't believe that they could do that within the kingdom, pleasing to the Lord. The only things that they don't want to do, that they have to do, is surrender and turn from the world. You got to choose today who you serve to get these things, but it is much more fun than it seems, than the world tries to pretend it is. And my course will teach you how to do that. And I stick with you until the end, till the marriage, till even into the marriage. So I help you get the woman. And even if you need advice throughout the way, it's a lifelong course. And you have to be really serious and ready for it. The link is in the description. If you click on it, then we can get on a discovering call to see if you really do fit this. And I'm just so delighted that I've listened to the Lord this long, and I know what he wants me to do. And I just can't wait to bless you and help you in this way, in my business, my new business that is for you. So this is the third thing. Listen, but this listening has something more to it, because later you're going to surprise her. For example, I tell my husband I love flowers and roses. I tell him that I love dolls. I tell him I love certain things. And then that's how he courts me. He has some intel. to court me, to love me, to show me in my love language of what I love. Narcissists are doing this, guys, and they're getting the girl and they're hurting her and ruining it for you by the time she's with you. Because what they're doing is they're mirroring her and they're love bombing with the stuff. They take the information, they love bomb her so that they can just get her and then she falls in love and then they can hurt her. That's not what you're going to do. You're doing it to build a friendship. If you really love anybody, you want to know things about them, right? Because a healthy mind and a healthy relationship, you literally do something that actually does something to your mind and says, oh my gosh, this person's in my corner. Oh my goodness. And this is what those couples that have been together for years, we've been together through thick and thin. He's got my back. This is those days when they listened and the things they said when they met came back later. And they're like, how did you remember? You remembered when I said this? Do you have no idea what that does for a woman? So when I say listening, I'm talking about taking in this information to build a lasting relationship. Okay. And if you're a woman, the same for you. But he's taking the initiative. So when you listen, men, and you have empathy, you don't want anything in return. Because if you are godly, if you are following the Lord, you already know revenge is the Lord's and reward is the Lord's. He's going to touch your heart when the time comes for you to get the blessing. And God, if she's not the one and you gave her and you had to go with another woman, God will still give you that blessing because you were good to her. God will give it back to you. That's the piece that no one's talking about, is the spiritual piece. When you go out there and you date a woman, if you're not kind to this woman, it will come back to you. I'm not talking about karma. I'm talking about the Bible and the Lord and his promise to you. You do things in the heart, with love. It will come back. If it's the one you're with, it's the one you're with. But if it's not, it's something better. God has someone for you. Just keep showing up. My resilient joy is how I didn't let the enemy break me. I continued to show joy and peace and love and empathy to people, even when I kept getting them treat me bad. I didn't let the same person continue to treat me bad. I put my foot down. I stood up for myself and I cut those relationships out. But I didn't change me for the next person. And this is how you avoid being an incel. You don't let that break you, because those guys will never get the women if they continue to be that way. Because if what I'm telling you is to get softer and kinder and empathetic, look how far off they are from being that. I'm going to be praying for them. I'm going to continue to pray for them because I think that's just so awful that these wonderful young men are being cut off. Some of them have disabilities. Some of them have disorders, and they're on the spectrum, and they're just not being nurtured to be able to find someone. I just feel so bad about that from our mental health community and how we're not sticking with the young people. When they had that, when I was teaching younger, we took care of them in school. But what happens when they become adults? We got to stay with the young men and teach them how to be with women when they become adults and socialize. And I think this is a real serious problem that I'm definitely going to be praying for God to bless. But those of whom can follow what I'm saying, even if you're on the spectrum, if you can follow what I'm saying and really take in these things, then you can win, because you will be the one guy that stands out because nobody's doing what you're doing. And I want to help you do that. So go ahead and click on my link if you want me to help you. And I love you guys so much. God bless you. Share my video with all the men in your life that you think can be blessed, that are in their mid-20s, mid-30s, that are struggling with this stuff, because I'm going to be coming out with more and more series for you to help you deal with this. Okay. And I can't wait to help you and help you with my course. It is a course where you have to be financially prepared to do it, and you have to be serious and ready to go through the course so that you can stand out, and then I can help you land this woman and find this wonderful woman and do these things if you need the help doing it. All right. Bye, Valerie. Definitely share my video if you know anybody. God bless you. Love you. I'll see you on the next series. Bye.